Do you believe in ghosts? Some people do, some people don't. Personally, I do. And on those cool summer nights in rural Wisconsin, when the moon is absent and the forest is dark and silent, it's hard to deny there is a mystical feeling in the air. And maybe, just maybe, there are things we don't know about in this world. It was one of those last days of summer, and we were feeling adventurous, as usual. We, and by we, I mean Adam, Brandy, Cole, Jesse, and myself, decided to go to the abandoned North Crawford School in Soldiers Grove. We had been there before, but this would be the first time we brought a Ouija board. We snuck in around midnight through an open window. The school smelled musty, and we were already getting scared. We went to the bathroom, where on another night the door had nearly closed on Lee Lepke, Cole, and Jesse. We were scared and decided to just use the board outside the bathrooms. After getting a response from a ghost claiming to be the old janitor who had a heart attack and died in the school, the board started to act up. It began doing figure eights, which is always a bad sign. Now, instead of being rational and getting out of the school, we decided to head into the bathroom instead. As soon as we were inside, the door slammed on us. Everybody had watched Adam enter, and it was clear to all of us that he hadn't messed with us. The door had just slammed by itself. We even tried reenacting this on a different trip to the school, but it still would not slam the same way. In the bathroom, we all sat down and began to use the Ouija board again. The planchette began moving immediately. Right around this time, we began hearing whispers echoing around the bathroom. This night was getting stranger and scarier by the second. The spirit told us it was making the sounds and that we were in danger. We ignored it, and it began to spell something on the board. EMKILLYO. And by that point, Cole and I were jumping up and heading out of there. We already knew what it was spelling by that point. I'm gonna kill you. We ran out of the school scared out of our minds, yet we still wanted answers. The board was working in ways it never had before, and we wanted to see where it would go. Curiosity kills the cat, I guess. As we headed back to Adam's car, we decided to use the board outside the gym. To this day, I don't know why. We stopped when we began hearing footsteps and decided we had enough of the school for one night. We got in Adam's car and headed to Gay's Mills because someone had once drowned in the dam. When we got there, the board responded instantly, and the spirit turned out to be the same one from the school. We asked it if it was following us. Yes, it threatened to push Cole into the dam and asked that we take it back to the school. By this time, Adam was beginning to act strangely. We got in his car, but we weren't heading for the school. Adam began driving to Ferryville, right to his property in the middle of nowhere. Despite our complaints, Adam just kept driving. He was acting strange, his stomach hurt, and he smiled for no reason and made strange comments. We arrived in the woods, and by this point, I was pretty sure Adam was going to murder us. We were in the middle of the woods with no cell reception and not a soul in sight for a couple miles. Adam mentioned we might get stuck on his back road, but thankfully we didn't. After arguing for a few minutes, we finally convinced Adam to head back to the school. He began to act less strange and was more confused than anything else. He didn't remember why he wanted to come to the property in the first place. We were beginning to think he was possessed. We went back to the gym doors and talked to the ghost. Even though it told us it wanted us to go inside, it said this was fine and it would leave us alone. As we were leaving, finally getting rid of the spirit, we noticed Adam was staring at the building. We called to him, and he told us he felt a sudden urge to go back inside, and that's why he had been staring. We finally arrived back at Cole's house after a long and scary night. It was nearly 4 in the morning. We would happily give the Ouija board back to its owner as soon as possible. We didn't want to see it for a long time. Sometimes I wonder to myself if Adam is still possessed. That is the story of what happened when my group of friends went to the old North Crawford School. After that night, I have no doubts about what I believe in.